Hey, welcome back to GT Canada. Today we're doing another reaction video. This time, I want to look at daily driven exotics. Now, you probably have heard of them. If you haven't, you should check them out. Daily driven exotics on YouTube, DDE. They're really starting to blow up around here. I come across them on Facebook all the time and on YouTube. They got a lot of really cool content, and I wanted to know, where did it all start for them? So I was looking at their YouTube channel and I just pulled up their videos. I filtered by oldest to their newest. And when I look through some of their older videos, some of these videos are 8 years old, 9 years old, 7 years old. They weren't very consistent in uploading videos, is one thing that I noticed. But one particular video kind of caught my eye, and that is Gymkhana Lamborghini. Now this is really interesting for me because keep in mind, this was like 8 years ago. This was 2013, and Gymkhana was just starting to get some traction. DDE is a new and upcoming channel. They don't got a lot of viewers, and they just want to do something to get out there. So I always see them doing just, I got pulled over by the police. Police are so stupid. We're just minding our own business in supercars, blah, blah, blah. And you always feel like half the story is missing, and at least that's how I feel. So I don't really feel compelled to care one way or another about what they're up to. I know a lot of people do, and so I don't want to disrespect anybody in that respect, but what are they doing as far as furthering the community? So I was interested when I came across this Lamborghini Gymkhana. So I'm going to watch this with you and we'll give a reaction. You probably haven't seen it yet because you haven't been watching Daily Driven Exotics since the beginning. Maybe you have, and maybe you've already seen it, but let's watch it together. So this is filmed on a closed track. Good. From Daily Driven Exotics, purewheels.com, SR Auto Group, okay. Exotic Clutch Technologies, okay. Holy smokes. We're 27 seconds in and we're still watching just the intro, 30 seconds in. This is a 4-minute video. Half of this video is going to be an introduction. This is like a full featured movie. So they're a little ambitious with this. Surprised that people watch this far. So statistically, people that are watching your videos will drop off within the first 20 seconds of your video unless they really find something that just kind of captures your attention and hooks you in. That's why on a lot of videos that you see nowadays, they have just a quick hook and then a short start that shows kind of their banner, their logo, whatever, and then into the video. That's to kind of reel you in so that you actually are compelled to want to stay. The fact that they just made me watch a 45-second intro video is amazing. Number one, that people stay and watch this. I imagine people skip through, so then they miss the first part of the video because most people just skip to the first half just to see if they're missing anything. So we're gonna still watch. Finally, now we do get to see the Lamborghini. Some excellent shots here, panning shots. Production value is pretty good. I'm actually impressed so far. The music's good, the panning shots are good, the video quality is good. It doesn't look like they've done a lot for color correction, but whatever. That is what that is, really. So this is actually Damon driving, which is interesting. I was not aware that he fancies himself a driver of any sort. So let's see if he is a driver or just a fool in a Lamborghini. Daily Driven Exotics. You know what's interesting actually? So their logo has not changed at all. 8 years ago they did this logo. It's been the same logo. It still is the same logo. So that's good. It means that they actually thought things through ahead of time and decided what they wanted to do and really spent some time branding that properly. If you look at GT Canada, for example, I've had probably 4 different logos in the last year. I use different fonts all the time because I can't decide which font I actually like. So I haven't done nearly as much thinking as what they have. I like that. I like that. Good flame effect, that's cool. And he's off. Damon Fryer is the driver. Ha, that rhymes. Damon Fryer is the driver. Okay, nice drift there. Good. Drifting around a pole, well, pylon. Now, here, I'm gonna advance a little bit. There we go. So you remember from my Gymkhana video where I reviewed Travis Pastrana. If you haven't watched it, check it out over here. But I talk about looking for clues at how good the driver really is. Because I think that anybody with enough time and enough memory storage on their camera could string together some drifts. I do believe that. So if you see a lot of tire marks on the ground, you know that they've done a lot of tries, a lot of tests. The fact that I only actually see 2 tracks of tires here makes me believe that one of 2 things has happened. Either he did really well for the 2 donuts that we just saw him do, and those are the only 2 that he's gonna do, or he attempted a number of donuts or a number of drifts around here, and then they cut the camera, wheeled out a pressure washered off the pavement to get rid of all the tire tracks, and then come in after he's practiced up and do the 2 drifts that we just saw on camera. It's very unlikely that they've got a dude off to the side with a pressure washer, especially given their level of production at that time. They weren't big, they didn't have a lot of money. They also would not have had a lot of time. So if they were paying for production time, they're not gonna pay for a guy to film them while they pressure wash off all the tire marks. So I'm led to believe that he really just did 2 of these drifts in a row and did a very good job of them. And there you go, so he's exiting. So you did see, let me back this up a little bit. So you can see right here where he's got, there are marks there to show that he has tried this at least once already. So we know that he has done this at least once, but it looks like only once. So you can see him kind of exiting through there. And then into another set of cones. I think he just went and found the City Works pylons and just set those up in a parking lot. I wonder if he even had permission to be in that parking lot. I would guess so, but he probably just knows somebody that's there. Linking together drifts, that's good. That's actually really impressive. The angle on the Lamborghini is not that great, but I don't know if you saw that. Let me do this again. So here you can see him coming up doing the classic drift technique or the classic Gymkhana thing. So when this came out, Gymkhana, we would have been only at Gymkhana 3, so that he would have only seen this a couple times. The fact that he picked up on this key moment that they nailed in the Gymkhana, the true Gymkhana series, and then he wanted to mimic this, is actually pretty cool. It's cool. It shows that he actually pays attention to this stuff and wants to kind of recreate that. So that's good. Good eye for detail. There's not a lot at stake here though. So he would have driven underneath here and checked and said, okay, yeah, I fit underneath there. They can jack these legs up over here to make it so he's got lots of room and get it just right and make sure that, if the car kind of comes up a little bit while you're in the drift, that it's not going to scrape that roof or anything. So he knows that's safe. The back end is quite far away from the leg. He's got a good 5-6 feet away from that leg, so there's no risk to the trailer, there's no risk to the car, he's just having fun. One thing I noticed in this scene, so now he's got the camera mounted underneath here and he's drifting it again, or he's drifting at the same time, just one drift. But see how much closer that back tire is to that leg. Now, normally you would say, okay, well the camera angle is different and so that distance is different. But notice this is actually a GoPro camera with a wide angle lens. And if you've ever tried to film something with the GoPro, what you would have noticed is that you can be right up to something and when you review the footage after, it still looks like you're 30 feet away from it. And that's an exaggeration. But the fact that even with the GoPro footage, it looks like it's that close to those legs, makes me think that he probably did a couple takes on this. He did one, got it good, and then mounted the camera up inside there to get the second shot. He's probably working with only one camera, possibly two. So to get the multi-camera angles, they would have to stop, set up for the next angle, do the same thing again, get that footage and then edit it all together. It's one of the tricks you have to do when you're working off just one camera or two cameras. Don't forget he's got the in-car camera as well. And then there he's going, taking off. Not bad so far. So there's okay, yeah. Okay, so he's drifting around a tire. A couple things I like about this. So setting the shot up is really cool. The fact that a tire's rolling and he's drifting around that tire actually is quite impressive, because that tire is rolling pretty fast when you look at it. So he would have to get right in front of it, initiate the drift, and be past the tire before it rolls into the car. He possibly did actually have the tire roll into the car. Very low risk. If a rubber tire hits a Lamborghini at slow speed, it's not going to break anything. So there's very low risk that they break anything. But as far as setting the stunt up and making it look cool, it does look really cool. I want to watch that again, actually. So I like how they got the fender shot here. So you can see there it's mounted on that fender and he's coming up. You can see he's coming up around the tire right here. Now the reason why you're going to know this is two shots. In a second, you're going to see the wide shot of the Lamborghini coming around the tire. We're going to look and see if we can see that camera on there. Okay, so I'm going to eat my words a little bit. You can see that he's got his camera mounted right there. So this is all one take right now. So he's got the camera on there and then he comes around. So now we're looking at the back tire. Okay, yeah. So this is definitely two takes and you can tell why. So now do you notice how there's no camera rig here anymore on the front tire, which we just saw a minute ago, and the rig is actually mounted on the back tire looking backwards. So we cut to an inside shot, no camera rig there, and then there. So again, the same rear tire looking backwards at there. I actually suspected that it was two shots already, because if you look at where the tire is, it seems like it had to have been two shots. So the first shot is here. This is take one. That's with the camera facing forward and catching the tire and this shot. And you can see where this tire is and the cameraman in relation to the background here. Okay, so they come around and then right here. So now there's going to be a cut. So that was it. He finished this off. So now there's a cut and we go to a new rig with the camera mounted on the back, and he goes for a second single drift around a moving tire. So he didn't link two drifts around the tire like we're led to believe with the editing, but it's still impressive. So here, now notice the position of the cameraman relative to the tire, to the background, and the position of the car. So they did just set up, somebody gave the tire a push, he came in again and did another single drift around this tire. Still very impressive, but you can notice that he didn't link it together quite as good as you would hope. And then you see the tire as he's pulling away. Excellent shot, actually a good sense of speed, lots of good use of camera angles. A little disappointed here, so the all-wheel drive is not working on the Lamborghini clearly. He is not in a four-wheel drift. This tire actually has full traction right now. So he's doing just rear-wheel drive drifting. You can see if he was doing a four-wheel drive drift, this tire, you wouldn't be able to see the tread on it even right now with it paused. I wouldn't be able to freeze frame because this is not 240 frames per second. This is only 30 frames per second. Just a rear-wheel drive drift for all of these, but still, they're impressive. Kicking the tail out. He just went into a spin, which I don't think he intended to do. He's just screwing around in a parking lot and filming it and trying to cut it together to look fun. That's fun, drifting around a trailer. Again, look at the angle. So you can tell that he's not a totally experienced drifter. I'm not saying he's a bad drifter, but when you look at him coming around the back end of that trailer, so you can see actually he ended up with full grip right here. He backed off the gas pedal and kind of steered out a little bit, and then he stepped on the gas again to try and kick the back end out. That's why his angle's so bad. Normally you would expect him to be right out sideways coming around this, but he's not. He's playing it very, very safe with a nice wide drift. And I don't blame him. This is an expensive car. These aren't his trailers. Very low budget drifting video. And for a low budget video, he's doing great so far. And now he's taking off. Ooh. Right underneath the gate. This is a nice shot. I like this shot right here. This is a good shot. Sitting at the stop sign, you got the Lamborghini on the side and pulling away. Very cool. Very, very cool. Very cool video. Impressive. Actually, I'm impressed. As one of the first videos that they put out, that's actually very impressive. That they were able to string all that together. The editing is top notch. Everything is very top notch. This is actually a very good video. I encourage you to check out Daily Driven Exotics. They don't need my endorsement because they're doing just fine without me. Damon, if you're watching this and you want to bring us by, I'm going to be in Kelowna this summer. I'd love to check out your facility and meet up with you guys. Who knows? Maybe I can drive one of your Lamborghinis. We'll do another Gymkhana video. If you're not watching this, well, then I guess you'll never see this. But thank you for watching this video. I hope to see you again. Check out some of our other videos over here. We've got a lot of great content in the back library. We hope to see you again, but until next time, have a great day.